Hey guys, this is Danish. I'm back with our free community webinar sessions where we invite incredible around to talk about immigration, taxes, company registration, and general lifestyle, to be honest, as a global citizen. So today we have an incredible guest from Ecuador. We will be introducing them in a few seconds, but before we dive in, I just quickly want to share some community resources and I want to give some shout outs to community supporters. So the first part, they are the cheapest and good products. A lot of digital nomads use them, to check them out. Second shout out I want to give Visa DB, which I am the founder. So if you want to move anywhere in the world or start a company or tax, Visa DB is your answer. So go here, click on search, browse services, search anywhere in the world, including Sarah for Ecuador, and you can see the service. You can chat with experts in Sarah, and all the pricing breakdown, all the transparency we are bringing for the cross-border transaction. So check that out. Incredible resource. This project is funded by European Union, Government of Chile, and many other organizations. So you can read about to see more about it. And yeah, that's me in all the pictures. Looking good, right? So the last shout out, the biggest shout out I want to give, even though it's a Ecuador session today, but most of the digital nomad remote workers companies, and to open a US bank account could be key. So Mercury is solving that. They offers 100% remote account opening, and the best thing, it's free. It's a free business bank account, including the USD national wire transfer. So check these products out. You can also get $200 cashback clicking on the link, which will be shared with you. So these are the community sources. Shout outs back. So I'm really honored and really excited to host Sarah today. She's an attorney. She's a very well-reputed attorney in Ecuador. And Sarah, how are you doing? And along with Sarah, we will be talking. This amazing couple is actually working and helping global expats, entrepreneurs to move to Ecuador and make Ecuador a new home. So how are you guys doing both, by the way?
Hello. Well, thank you so much for the interview, for the time that you are giving me. Well, yes, as you said, well, my name is Sarah. I am an attorney at law in Ecuador, and my principal expertise is in immigration law. So I assist to any expat around the world to come to Ecuador. Just I am with my partner. He's Adam, he's American, and so we work together in our law firm in Ecuador. We are doing this kind of work for almost 10 years. So, and we have thousands of clients in all this time.
So Adam, I will ask you a question. You are Please. An American, you're an expat. So
absolutely,
why people love Ecuador, why Americans love Ecuador, or why anyone from around the world love Ecuador, and why they want to move there? Would you like to share some of the benefits to become an expat or live in Ecuador?
Absolutely, Danish. Thank you for asking that softball question. It's really a very easy decision to move here. It was for me, certainly. I've been here now 10 years and I haven't looked back. I go back occasionally. I haven't renounced my US citizenship or anything like this. I still have my family there, and it's still nice to maybe go buy certain products that are available easier in the United States as compared to a foreign country such as Ecuador. But really, the climate is amazing. You control your temperature by your altitude here in Ecuador. We are in the city of Cuenca, beautiful, internationally renowned. There's 10,000 or more expats living in the city, mostly from the US, Canada, and Europe. And we all love it because it's almost like San Diego weather every single day. We have a rainy season, and we get some rain outside the rainy season, but really it's lovely. And dry weather, crisp in the mountains. But then if you want to go to the beach, you're only 3 hours away by car, not by plane, by car. So you're able to immerse yourself in this these microclimates that exist all throughout the country that are so easy to get to. And the culture is just incredible. It has an Incan culture that goes back over 500 years, and all of the other aspects of South America are blended in here. And of course, Ecuador utilizes the US dollar, and only the US dollar. So we're not talking dinars, we're not talking yuan, we're not talking the pound or sterling or euro or any of that business. So for purposes of using your credit card, there's no currency exchange where you're charged any additional amount. For any of your wire transfers, you don't need to first convert anything of this nature. And you walk around with cash, Wow. So, and of course your bank account that you have here, if you have one, is in cash, US dollars. So besides that, the food is incredible. The culture, the people are so friendly, and the cost of living, amazing. Literally, as Sarah said, we have a very low inflation rate in comparison to the US. At this time, it's not negative. The whole world is kind of caught fire with this inflation thing. But just a couple of days ago, they announced that the annual rate is at like 4%. So that's an incredible thing. And of course, we've had, so many years of that. The average cost for a lunch, we call it an almuerzo, that's lunch in Spanish, is $2. $2 lunch. That's a full lunch. Wow. Oftentimes, you can take half of it home with you. So you're breaking it up, $1 for your lunch, $1 for your dinner, something like that. Of course, they have fine dining as well. Wow. If you like, you can go out and find the place that'll charge you $20 for a meal. Pretty hard to find the place that'll charge you $50 or $100 for a meal, but you could probably get into the high single.
I think you summed up quite well. I think you hit all the points which expats, digital nomads, value. Cost of living, weather, food, nice people, culture, everything. And so this makes it, like I said, a beautiful place. And Sarah, you are Ecuadorian, so you must be feeling proud right now that what an amazing country Ecuador is. So I ask you now with you that Ecuador is quite famous amongst the retirees. So I would like to talk to you about the retirement visa. So can you tell me what are the requirements for this retiree visa is?
Yes. Retire visa is one of the visa that most of the people come. It's a lot of retires in Ecuador, and it's a lot of retires in Cuenca. Most of my clients are retired, so that and they're 55 plus, even over 65. So the minimal amount that any person who wants to come to Ecuador and apply for a retired visa needs to have a pension first for lifetime. And the amount needs to be 1,275 plus 250 for dependent. So that means if a husband and wife come to Ecuador, one have the visa, the other is the dependent, needs to have a total amount of $1,525. That is the total amount that both person, a couple, must to have to come to Ecuador. As I say, like the pension need to be guaranteed for lifetime. That is like consistent a pension, but also if a person has a pension, for example, a pension that is valid for the next 2 years, also that is applicable. That also is a valid pension, because the visa, the retired visa, that is a temporary residency visa, is valid for 2 years. So if you have a pension that is a guarantee for the next 2 years, you can apply for this visa.
Sure. Okay. Wow. And that's, thank you, Sarah. So other than this minimum requirement of $1,500, $1,520 for a couple, are there any other requirements to get apply for this visa?
Yes, of course. The other requires is your police report. Depends in the country where you live the last 5 years. For example, if a person from the United States select to come to Ecuador, need to show 2 police reports, one federal, FBI, and one from the state. For example, if you are from Canada, you want to move to Ecuador, first, again, your pension in US dollar must be $1,275 per month. and you need to bring your RCMP, that is the police report from Canada. So, and depends from the country that you are. But just to give you this situation, what about if one person from US moved to Canada and hold the US passport but is a resident in Canada? Yeah, you need to bring only your police report from Canada because you are resident there. So it's from the country that you live the last 5 years. And if you come with a couple with your wife, you need to bring the marriage certificate, so or you can prove the relationship.
Okay, this is incredible. So now established, as Adam said, Ecuador is a great country, and now we're talking about some retirees who wants to move there. They need to have the 225 if single, and if they're a couple, 1525. They need to bring their marriage certificate and a police certificate where they are resident. Are there any other requirements, Sarah, other than these 3 requirements you just mentioned?
The requirements that I told you, that the police report, the pension benefit letter, and the marriage certificate, really that are the requires. So, but in any ways, I would like to clarify something. Depends also on the visa that you are looking to apply, because Ecuador offer the expat different type of visa, and depends on you what visa is better for you, what visa is applicable for you. For example, it's a young people who wants to move here and they don't have a pension. So, but if you have a university degree, you can come and apply for your visa. That change the requires, because you need to show, you need to prove that you don't have a university degree, bachelor, master, or PhD. So that ad requires. So that means if you select to apply for professional visa, you must to obtain your university documents, and your police report, and you are married, your marriage certificate. So, and that depends. Or in the case that you, again, that you are young, you want to have experience in Ecuador, you can apply the new visa, the Nomad Visa. This is for the people who work online and receive a salary for that. So that is another new visa that also any person who have a monthly income for a company that allow this person work online can apply. So always I say, like, what are the requirements? Depends on the visa that you are looking to apply.
Danish, I'd like to bring to your attention and the viewers as well. A lot of them, of course, are single persons in different countries, and maybe they have an online job and maybe they don't, or maybe they have a pension and maybe they don't. But for whatever reason, it may be difficult for them to obtain the required documents or prove the sufficient amount of money or income. So a single person, going back to the professional visa that Sarah mentioned a few minutes ago, this only requires that you show your proof of university degree with just a couple of simple documents like your transcripts and the way in which you studied, which is known as a motive study letter in Ecuador. Motive study letter in English. And if you're single, you don't even need to prove an income to be able to come to Ecuador. So imagine that you have a foreign university degree and you simply contact your legitimate university where maybe you graduated from 5 or 15 years ago, and you just ask for those 3 simple documents with the applicable legalization of that. And for the US, that would be apostille. For the UK, same thing, apostille. Most of Europe, apostille. In the case of countries like China, it would be a legalization. In the case of Canada, it would be a legalization. And simple, you don't need to prove your income. You don't need a marriage certificate if you're not married. And you just come. And like Sarah said earlier, it's a 2-year temporary residency visa. You have unlimited freedom of movement. You can come and go as you wish without any question whatsoever. And only if you wanted to convert to permanent residency thereafter would you have any kind of a travel restriction up until that point.
And I think this is a very important point, because Ecuador, if you apply any kind of visa, even if you apply a professional visa, the resident don't have any responsibility or to work in Ecuador. So you can apply your professional visa, you can be a lawyer, but you don't need to work as a lawyer. If you want, you can open your business. If you want, you can do any kind of work, because also Ecuador allows that all the residents can do any legal activity in Ecuador. That really is a big difference in comparison to another countries that not allow to the people work, the residents work.
Yes. You guys are already surprising the people here, and if you see on the questions, people didn't know that Ecuador uses US dollar, which is incredible. And Eric already asked a question which we already answered, but let me surprise this. We have visas for all type of people. So if you are a retiree with a fixed income, you have a visa. If you don't have an income, you have a visa. If you are a digital nomad and have an income abroad, then you have a visa as well. So first is retiree visa, second one is a professional visa, and the third one, Sarah, what is the name of visa for the digital nomads?
Yeah, really, that is the name, Digital Nomad Visa. Really, Visa Nomad.
Nomad Visa.
Nomad. Yeah. That is the name of the visa, and really, that visa was created and has the direction for the people who are young and wants to work. Has a digital work and wants to have maybe experience, or really wants to save more money, because if you make like American salary or Europe salary and you come to Ecuador, as Adam says, you can find a lunch for $2. So, and I rent a beautiful apartment maybe for $400, $600. So that really is a really good thing to have. And even you can find an apartment for $200, $250. But well, everything will depend what is your preference, what is your area. But this Nomad Visa is directly for the young people, who the ones that don't have maybe a pension, don't have that big savings to investment. Just you have your work, you have your income, and you can work here and you can live here.
No age restriction though. And even though it's called Nomad Visa and it's meant for digital purposes, people working online, we just confirmed right before the meeting again with our contact, who's the head of the immigration industry, and he advised that any income that you have from any company that you work for, even if it's literally sitting at the desk inside the location physically of that employer, you can simply get proof of your income from that in a letter from your employer stating that you are employed there, or show a copy of your work contract, and you still qualify for the Nomad Visa.
I have a follow-up question from Adam and Sarah. What is the income requirement for the digital nomad visa? How much income proof I need to show, and what kind of proof, what documents I need to prove? Is it like a salary slips or bank statements or?
Yes. So yeah, absolutely. If you are looking to apply this kind of visa, you need to obtain a letter from the company or from the person who give you the work that says that you have this work and you receive a monthly payment of $1,275. So, and also you need to show your bank statement for the last 3 months that show that you received the payment. So plus, and this is applicable for all the visas, always you need to show your police report. Always you need to do that. You need to prove that you don't have a serious criminal record. What I want to talk about is a serious criminal record. DUI, that's fine. And even another domestic violence, that situation are fine. So if you have your the letter from the person who you employ, the work, and the bank statement, police report, you can apply for your visa.
And of course, if you're married, like we talked about earlier, you still need your marriage certificate with the applicable apostille or legalization based in your country.
And only just to give you the full information, if you don't have the bank statement for the last 3 months, for example, because just you start to work, the ministry give you the second option is that you can show a balance. You need to have like a balance savings for the minimum $15,300. So that means if the person don't have the last 3 months of deposit, because maybe recently start the work. You need to have $15,300 in your savings account, checking account, and you can apply for the visa. Why it is so important? Because Ecuador wants, or the government wants to guarantee that the expat that come, the resident that wish to be in Ecuador, has enough money to live in here. So, and that also comes to the require that all the visas, Nomad Visa, Pension Visa, Professional, Investor Visas, always you need to have a health insurance in Ecuador.
Wow. Incredible, guys. I really pleased, like, how easy is that compared to other Latin countries. By the way, if the audience don't know, I have personally lived in Ecuador and in Brazil and in Colombia and in Chile, so I can speak from my experience. The documentation requirements here looks very, even though I didn't apply these visas, I was on a tourist visa, but as Sad explained, looks pretty solid, and there is thing for everyone. So even if you don't have an income, you still go for the professional visa with the degree. You need a university degree, of course, and a couple that you just need a little bit of $1,500. So I think it's a great country. I will ask you one more question. So we talked about 3 visas, one for pensioners, one for professionals without a job or without an income, and the third visa is for young people who have a remote work outside Ecuador. So these are covered. Now I wanted to ask you that all these 3 visas are permanent residence. The one visa we did not cover is the investor's visa. Can you please tell me what are the requirements for investor visa other than certificate and the marriage certificate?
Yeah, well, I think investor visa is one of the easy visas because it's not a lot of requires. If you are looking to investment in Ecuador, it's a really good thing because you can investment in a bank. So that means like investment your money in Ecuadorian bank, or investment in a real estate, or even investment in a business. If you investment in a bank, the financial institution in Ecuador can give you even 9 or even 9.5% of interest in your money. So that means you can take your money, deposit in the bank for minimum 2 years. You need to like frozen that money for me, but you will receive an income. It will be an additional income.
Wow.
And your money. So that is a really good thing to have.
And of course, as you indicated for this webinar, talking about taxes, well, the first tax law of Ecuador is there's no taxes on the interest you earn from your CD investment. So if you invest $42,500 into a bank CD and you're receiving, let's say $4,000 a year in interest, you're not paying any taxes to the Ecuadorian government on that. You don't even need to file a tax return in Ecuador for them.
Wow. So the 2 guys, this looks another option for someone who have money. They can just transfer this money, deposit in the bank, and 10% is quite a decent rate on the USD. Like you don't get that in most. And then second, if I ask you guys, let's say if somebody wants to buy an apartment next to the beach, let's say in Manta or somewhere like maybe in Cuenca, what are the range for a small apartment? Let's say it depends on so many variables, but if we create a benchmark of a studio apartment in a building, roughly, do you guys have any idea what the property costs?
Sure. So a 1 studio apartment to purchase in most areas of Ecuador, you're talking in the mid tens of thousands of dollars. So maybe $50,000, maybe $60,000. You could find less, of course. It depends on where you are, what beach you're looking for, or where in the mountainous areas, or
how far of the big city is. Yeah, that location is a big thing for the price.
Yes. So but 1 studio, bedroom apartment, that's very small, and that's a very small price in Ecuador. There's times where actually we've had people who purchase a property for only $30,000, and of course that's not sufficient for purposes of qualifying for the, as Sarah said, $42,500. So what we're able to do in that case is we actually ask for a raise of the municipal value from the municipality that's located in. because the municipality always loves to get more taxes, right? You pay a very small amount of tax each year, maybe 0.2% on your, so in the case of a $30,000 apartment, somebody, is paying $50 a year or something like this in taxes. So they say, oh, please raise me to $42,500. And now they're paying, $69 of taxes a year, but they're qualifying for the investor visa and real estate.
So my question would be, all these 4 visas are temporary residency for 2 years. What happens after 2 years?
Yeah, after 2 years, you will have 2 options. The first option is that you can apply for or you can renew, the word is renew your temporary residency visa again.
For a further 2 years.
For another 2 years, and you can do this process as many times you wish. So that means that you can apply for your temporary residency visa for lifetime. Or the second option, you can convert your visa from temporary to permanent. So in any ways, if you are looking to do that, go from temporary to permanent visa. This is a really good option also because this visa is valid for lifetime. You need to comply with some of the requirements. For example, right now, the law explains that if you are looking to apply, your goal is apply for your permanent residency visa after your temporary, you only can be out of the country 90 days. So that means that has restrictions. So that the conclusion is that the temporary residency visa, any type, have 2 different options. So, and you can select what is better for you. One, no restrictions. Leave the country, enter the country as you wish, as you want. The other is, I want to be in Ecuador more than 2 years. I want to stay more here. That is when you say, I cannot be outside of Ecuador more than 90 days. For you can convert, go from the temporary to the permanent. So that will be the situation when you want to apply for the permanent residency visa.
In Danish, in case any of the viewers are wondering, there is no immigration jail or anything like this, like you're banned from leaving the country. At any time, for any reason, no one will even ask you why. They'll just say, buen viaje, have a good trip, and you go. But at the end of the first 2 years of your temporary residency, the truth will tell in the reading of your passport stamps, if in fact you complied with the 90-day requirement, maximum 90 days outside of Ecuador in order to be able to convert to permanent residency.
I will ask you one more thing. Let's say if I become a permanent resident while I'm a resident on a temporary residence, do I have to pay taxes locally? 2 questions. First, on foreign income, do I have to pay taxes in Ecuador for foreign income if I'm a digital nomad? Second question, that if I'm not a digital nomad and if I'm a pensioner, do I have to pay any taxes in Ecuador? If you guys know about that, because I know it's an immigration thing, but I'm asking you tax questions now.
No, these are important questions, and we're asked these daily, not just infrequently, but daily by our clients, because it's such an important consideration, to your point.
Well, the principal rule that everybody needs to know is that in Ecuador, you pay taxes when you have an Ecuadorian business. So maybe you open a restaurant, maybe you have another kind of business, you open a company. That is the first thing that you will need to have is your taxes ID for pay taxes. Absolutely, that will be the case. And anyways, the principal question that you told me, what about the person, nomad, the person who have this digital work and come to Ecuador? So far, at this moment, there is no any law that explains that the person who have a nomad visa must pay taxes. So far, that is no law, rule. So the person who come with a nomad visa, apply with this visa, no, they don't need to pay taxes.
And what about pension? What about somebody with a foreign pension?
With any person who bring money to Ecuador, no need to pay taxes. Only, as I said, the rule number 1 is you will to pay taxes if you have Ecuadorian business. But if you are bringing your money to Ecuador, you don't need to pay taxes for that.
And in the case of a person with a pension, do they have to pay taxes on their pension?
No. In Ecuador, you don't need to pay taxes for your pension. You don't need to pay taxes for the income that generation you're sitting. Is a very specific rule for maybe the interest that you can make. Only you are making more $12,000 or more per year, that is when you need to declare
Ecuadorian income.
In Ecuador.
Income earned in Ecuador, not income received from your pension. You may have a pension. We have clients with $5,000 and $10,000 pensions per month, and they have it direct deposited to their bank account here in Ecuador. They never pay a dime. They never have to file a tax return in Ecuador. It's gratis on that basis.
Established that there is no taxes whatsoever. Whatever money you're making, direct deposited, pay no taxes, and enjoy the life, good life, quality of life in Ecuador. This is incredible. And only condition you will be paying taxes when you make money inside Ecuador, either with business or with job. Then based on how much you're making, tax rates will apply. And I think that's a long shot. Our audience are not looking for that. And like right now, they're looking to create income from Ecuador. So we will not get into it, but this is the information we share. Now, my question would be from you that let's say if I got a permanent residence, I got a temporary residence, I got permanent residence, how much time I have to live before I can apply for Ecuadorian passport, just in case?
Yeah, well, Ecuadorian passport is some of the requirements that you need to comply with. So at the moment that you are a permanent resident, you need to count 3 years from the moment that you receive your permanent residency visa. The condition is that in these 3 years, you cannot be outside of Ecuador more than 180 days per year. So that means 180 days the first year, no more than that, 180 days the second year, and no more than 180 days the third year. So that means when you are a permanent resident, you can be 6 months in Ecuador and 6 months in another place, but no more than that. When you have your 3-year compliance, so that is when you can apply for your Ecuadorian citizenship. So, and the good thing about the Ecuadorian citizenship is like, after the process, you don't will have any kind of restrictions. So that will be for the people who are looking to do that. So that means we do like a conclusion of the years will be 2 years as a temporary, 3 years as a permanent. So that means 5 years in total. You need to be here 5 years in total with your visas as a resident to apply for your Ecuadorian citizenship.
I love the clarity. You are sharing the information with such a clarity. I loved it because it's so easy to understand for anyone who's watching. So guys, this also tells something about Sarah and Adam, right? Did you see how they simplify the information, how friendly they are? So now this will bring me to the question that we encourage all of you, whatever you're watching, on YouTube, in the community, on the newsletter, please contact Sarah. There is a link up there. You can see that. She is incredible. If you want to apply for temporary visas, we discussed, and then even if you are in Ecuador and if you want to apply for the permanent residence, or if you have been living here as an expat and you want to apply for your passport, Sarah will help you. Adam is there. As you can see, he's from the United States, so that's a familiarity for Canadians and Americans. You can reach out. He's approachable, friendly. Talk to them, both of them, and we support, lawyers and attorneys like Sarah, and of course, as a couple, Adam as well. That makes it a perfect service provider. We want to support small firms to make them big and grow, of course. So I would encourage everyone to reach them out. They have quite affordable services and also fixed prices. And of course, you can check out the link to know the prices, but to know the exact cost, again, it's going to be a fixed price. You need to chat with Sarah and then just share your inquiry of what kind of service you're looking for. Can assure that they are our long-term partners and a long-term deal. They will love to help you. So guys, I'm so cool that you shared, and Adam as well, that with such a clarity you shared information. So we covered all the temporary visas, permanent visas, and the path to citizenship, 5 years, and you get the Ecuadorian passport. And after that, of course, guys, then you don't have any restrictions to 6 months. Even though if you're planning long term, I think 6 months is ideal because Europeans and Canadians, 6 months in a winter, you move to Ecuador in Cuenca or Mala, and then 6 months you can go back to your country either for your business or something. So this makes it Amazing. So guys, we also covered taxes. I'm just wrapping up. There's no taxes, so don't worry. If you're making income abroad or pension or from employment or business, no taxes. There is no law. Maybe in the future come, but right now as we speak, there's no law. So feel free, all the digital math to apply. Guys, I want to ask you one more thing. And offering visa and immigration services, Adam, are there any other services do you offer which could help expats and entrepreneurs or global people coming to Ecuador?
Duly noted, Danish. Yes, absolutely. First of all, we assist anybody who wishes to purchase a property in Ecuador. We have many clients who don't even move to Ecuador, but they simply find the property they like, and they either want to list it on Airbnb, or they want to rent it, or they want to be able to utilize it and come a few months a year. And of course, the people who do want to move here, naturally, they buy a property in that case. There is no such thing as title insurance in Ecuador, how you have in the US, Canada, and many other countries. So in effect, your only protection, your best protection is your attorney, your lawyer, to make sure that everything, all the I's have been dotted, the T's have been crossed, and there's been an investigation into the municipality to make sure no one has ever made a claim or any of this nature. And of course, for people who are older, they typically want to do something like a will, a last will and testament, or power of attorney in the case of, for healthcare decisions and financial decisions and things of this nature. And maybe in case they were to die in Ecuador, they want to know that their heirs in another country are going to be able to receive their ashes or have their body sent back or something of this nature. So we create documents to that effect. Very simple things. We're able to handle all of that. And, there's also anybody who wants to set up a business or a company. There are younger people who they say, hey, I'd like to open up a restaurant. I'd like to do a type of store. I'd like to import, export there's this wonderful artisanal items that are for sale in Ecuador. Or I see that Ecuador could utilize more electronics, they want computer equipment or something like this. And then, as well, we assist people to obtain their health insurance and bank account. So the bank account, that's easy. But health insurance, people are always concerned about that. And, it's incredible. In Ecuador, health insurance, private health insurance, you're typically talking $50 to $100 a month for full coverage for everything. And then,
wow.
And there's people who want the Ecuadorian government health insurance, either as, for catastrophic things or just because. And, you're talking $72 a month, and that's regardless of age. And it's unlimited coverage, for anything medically necessary. And then as well, in my second day job, I own a dental clinic in Cuenca. So my dentist is known as Dr. No Pain. If you type it on Google, Dr. No Pain.
Oh,
yeah. So and
we have some we have people looking for dentist work in the community. So I am also learning about that. So I will reach you out. And thank you, Adam, for sharing. So guys, if you notice, not only visa, but other services for expats in Ecuador. I remember one question from Sarah, last question, I promise. I know this is so interesting, this webinar, that we went way longer than our, set time, and still people are hanging here. So that means it's quite informative for them. One last question I remember, once I have an Ecuadorian permanent resident or passport, can I travel visa free to the countries around?
When you are, when you are a permanent resident?
No, when you have an Ecuadorian passport.
Ecuadorian passport. So, well, Ecuador, because we are in South America, we have a special agreement with 10 countries in South America, like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Bolivia, and other countries where we can go there. Just with your ID card, even you don't need a passport, you can travel, and you can stay in that country 180 days, 6 months. So it's the same for people from that countries, from Colombia, from Peru. They can come here and stay 180 days. That is one of the benefits that you have. Always, I think it's good to have a second passport, So And one thing, like we are talking about health insurance, in the case that you are Ecuadorians like me, no needs to have a health insurance. It's not required. So the residents, they need to have a health insurance. That is a requirement. For example, Alan is a resident. He needs to have a health insurance. And me as Ecuadorian is optional. So yeah, but for your question exactly, yes, we have this agreement for the visa for enter without any problem to these 10 countries in South America.
I think I want to ask you one follow-up question on that. That is it only if I have a passport or a permanent residence, or also a temporary resident?
Well, when you are a temporary or permanent resident, your passport will be from your original country. Remember, you are a resident here. What Ecuadorian give you is an ID card, an Ecuadorian ID card that you can use here in Ecuador. So that Ecuadorian ID card replace your passport. So just an example, you open an Ecuadorian bank account, and for you to use your passport all the time, you can have your Ecuadorian ID card that you will show, because that will be your ID, that will show your names, that will show when you born, your nationality, that you are a resident.
Your green card. That's me.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you
guys,
have an ID number that you will keep forever. So you will have the same ID number when you are a temporary resident and when you are a permanent resident.
This opens up a new hacking, because thank you for telling me, because there are like some countries where you cannot stay longer than 90 days, let's say. So if you are a temporary resident of Ecuador, you can go to these 10 countries for more than 90 days, and then you can use your passport to stay 90 days, and you can use Ecuador, or you can use Ecuadorian ID. This is just incredible. That opens up 10 countries for the people who usually do not have visa free. I'm talking about, luckily I have a Canadian passport, so it's fine with me, but we have people from India, from Serbia, from Europe. There are many countries in Europe. They don't have this visa-free option. So they could apply the temporary residency visa first to Ecuador, and then they can use their ID to at least live in these 10 countries, at least for 2 years, right? Because they have temporary residency for 2 years.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Wow. This is exciting, guys. One last, Sarah, you actually give me this hint. So now let me ask that, what is the healthcare system you mentioned? Is it free for everyone, or is it a public healthcare system, and how is it?
Well, in Ecuador, I think so, like in many other countries in the world, we have a health insurance, and private health insurance. But in any ways, all the country has the public hospitals, because the right of any person who is in Ecuador is the right to have health. So that means even if you are tourist, if something happened with you, I hope so never happen, but you can go to the public hospital, and their job is attend you. So, and anyways, when you are a resident, you can select if you want to be enrolled in a public health insurance or private health insurance. You have the option to do that. So the public health insurance is the one that any major city has the system. You need to make a monthly payment. Yeah,
that's the $72 a month.
Exactly. And when you are senior, even it's less than that. So with that, you have a full cover for everything, and and it's a really good thing for emergencies. And also, if you make more than 12 apportations, that means that you are enrolled more than 12 months, even cover your funeral expenses, that many private health insurance not do that. So and the private health insurance depends, of course, like any other country, depends your age. But my clients that are young, that in their 30s and their 40s, sometimes even pay $40, $50, and also depends also your health antecedent.
Some people, like I said earlier, they like to keep, they like to have both a very inexpensive private health insurance just for basic things, and then of course for catastrophic purposes they have what's known as IESS, which is the government plan, which $72 a month. So a young person you're talking still less than $100 a month probably for everything together to have both.
And the good thing about like the public health insurance, that is the one that I have, is that if you have a minor, you have a children that are minors, 17 years and less, also you cover them without any additional money. So because they are your dependents, they are covered by this health insurance with only one payment. So we have that. We have the public health insurance because it's good to have, and also is a good support to the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think yes. I actually am a big supporter when this incredible country is offering you. We don't mind. I think all of us, we agree that we can easily afford. It's not a lie. All of us who's moving there from abroad, they can totally afford it. And as well as Sarah said, it's a support. You're supporting a system with you, but everyone else. It's a collective healthcare system, which is I'm a big fan. So please, in Canada, because in Canada is something like that. So I'm a big supporter for that. And even for Americans, to be honest, guys, $72. Adam, you would agree with me. This is like nothing. It's peanuts.
Yes, correct.
So thank you, guys.
By the way, one last thing, Danish. We also have for our American clients, and oftentimes for Canadians too, who maybe have a residency in the US or something like this, we have a US office, an administrative office in the state of Florida that is able to assist with ordering documents for people. Some people just don't want to order their documents, particularly in the case of the US. It's very difficult because you have the federal system where you have the federal government, then you have the state. Remember, you need two different police reports. We're able to actually have our Florida administrative office order those for them and the apostilles of those and any other types of documents. And so that's and for our Canadian clients, oftentimes it's also convenient just to send documents there for further forwarding onto our Ecuador office in a standard package.
Sure. No, good to know. So guys, I mean, if you also need help, police certificate, they are here. So guys, I am really want to show my gratitude on the behalf of 152,000 people. That's the community. They all will be watching in replays. Many of them are right now with us and not leaving, because it was an incredible piece of information you guys shared with and with clarity, with like super clarity. And I love, Sarah, what you did, like this 1, 2, 3. This was the most easiest piece of information I grasp about something. We talk about so many visas and it was so easier. So I'm so grateful, and everybody is watching. They want to say thank you. Of course, they don't have a voice. I'm saying big thank you on their behalf. Adam and Sarah, you were amazing. We are literally honored that you joined. So thank you for your time. And in the future, we will be organizing other sessions as well with you. So guys, this is the end of the session, so please follow us, and the next week we'll be inviting another experts from Italy. But let's all plan to move to Ecuador, and thank you for joining today. Thank you, Sarah and Adam, once again. Appreciate it.
Right back at you, Danish, and our congratulations to you for being on BBC, as we saw yesterday. Your entire company. That's incredible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Professionality.
Big thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.